Yep. Okay, here we go. So I've got a new project 7.2 section views. I'm going to create a sketch on a face. I can use the rectangle tool to create a 5 by 3. So I'm going to go 5, tab, 3, enter, sketch. It's too deep, 3 wide. So I can extrude this too deep. Enter. And I'm going to be slicing it along this axis. So I now have to create a sketch on this face. And this is where I want to put those points or center marks. Sketch. And it naturally snaps to a center line, or it should. I want to just put a center line in. If I zoom in on this, that triangle indicates a center line, so it's snapping at the 1 inch mark. Click, run this down. My other center line indicator, click. And now I'm going to put some points on here. And points are the most basic objects that we can create. They're going to all be on the center mark. I don't want to snap anywhere where they are like, I don't know, I wouldn't want to snap one in the center because it wouldn't let me move it. Like right there, it's centered, and if I put one there, it's going to have a geometric constraint tied to it. So I'm just going to put one here, one here, I need 4 of them, one here, and one here. Escape to get out of that tool. Dimension, D key. I'm pulling from the reference edge or my datum edge and going to the first point. That's going to be 0.75. Next one. Come on, computer. Escape, dimension, reference edge, point. Struggling computer. Third one is going to be adding up 0.75. 1.75 is going to be 3. Holden, you can give it to him. Hey, it's in the back row there. This one's going to be 1.75. And the last one, and I am doing this datum dimension style. The instructions tell you to chain dimension it. And the only thing I would tell you with the chain dimensioning is we're going to learn again that that's bad. This would be 1.25 plus 1.25 is 2.5. It's 3.5, 4.25. Because there can be a lot more variation. So I've got my center points now created where I want to create these holes. And this is where I'm going to finish my sketch. And I'm going to use the hole feature instead of like cylinders. And the hole feature is a lot more involved, and it gives us a whole bunch of options here on the type of hole that we want to create, if we want to thread it, what kind of depth we want. So let's start with the first hole. And our thread, I'm actually going to jump back here and maybe pull these onto the same screen. We're getting there. Cheese. Don't ruin it for everybody. You'll just have to wait, like I said. Depending on the type, you can see actually by the shading that these are both pointed, if you will, or drilled hole, and they're blind. This first one says that the diameter of the hole is a 1/2 inch, the depth is 2 inches. The diameter of the counterbore is 3/4 of an inch, and the depth of that counterbore is 0.5 inches. So we've got to try and tie all that into our hole that we're creating. I'm going to see if I can move this over to my Fusion window. just so I have them in the same place. Yep. All right, it's asking me where do I want to place the hole, first of all. Well, right there, I want to place it on that center point. That's already located. And now I've got to fill in all the blanks here. There's multiple. I would say there's multiple ways to do it, but we just want to make sure we're using the hole tool in order to do this. Here's what I got to tell it. The type of hole, it's a counterbore hole. So if I just tell it a straight drilled hole, no good. Counterbore first of all. And then I got to plug in the numbers here. The overall depth of the hole, I'll just move this over a little bit. Does it give you threads here?
Yeah.
Are there threads that say... Does it say that it's threaded here in the hole note? There's no thread indication. It's not threaded. Okay. The diameter of the hole is a 1/2 inch. The depth of the hole is 2 inches. So I've got the depth selected right here. I'm going to do 2 for that. Tab. The diameter of the counterbore at the top, which would be right here, diameter of the counterbore is 0.75. Tab. The depth of the counterbore, as long as I'm going down the line here, even though that's not that logical, depth of the counterbore would be 0.5. And the diameter of the hole is the last thing I have to fill in here. And that would be a 2 inch, no, sorry, that would be a 0.5 diameter. Now, as far as the taper on the bottom goes, Jack, we would have to indicate that here by the drill point. And it doesn't really say, but what it looks like is that it's got a taper in the bottom of it. So I will leave it as a tapered bottom. Click OK. And my first hole is created. Now I can't see that well from this view.